Hello and welcome to the Hinterlands of Elandria campaign. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Lex Starwalker. I produce and host the RPG podcast Game Master's Journey, and I am starting a new Dungeons and Dragons campaign, Hinterlands of Elandria. And this is a homebrewed campaign in my homebrewed D&D setting, Primordia, and our first session is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, October 10th, 2017, and I will be streaming that to my YouTube channel, and it will also be available later on my YouTube channel. So I've already put one video in this playlist, which is an introduction to my setting of Primordia. And this video is the first of a series of what I'm calling, for lack of a better term, preludes that I did with the players. So I did a prelude with each player, with the exception of Brett, whose prelude got split into two parts. I did a prelude with each player where we discussed their character a little bit. We worked on their backstory. I kind of introduced them to the campaign and all that good kind of stuff. So we did do a lot of preliminary things via email and our private forum that we have for the campaign. But I thought for those of you who are watching the actual play, you might enjoy seeing this material, seeing some backgrounds on each of the characters, and give you a chance to get to know the characters and the players that play them a little bit. So these prelude videos you could completely skip if you want and just start with our first actual stream episode, which again will be live streaming October 10th. Or you can watch the prelude videos before, you can come back to them later, whatever. Again, our first session together, our first actual game session will be the 10th of October. This is all preliminary stuff. Now, due to the time it took to edit these and put these together, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to release all of the preludes before our first session. So this is the first one going to come out today, and I'll release the rest of them as they're completed. So once they're all out, I'll make sure and arrange the playlist so it will be the introduction to Primordia, and then all the preludes, and then the first session. So once all these preludes are out, everything will be in chronological order on the playlist. But until we get them all out, which there should be 7 in total, it'll just be kind of as I get them done. So we'll probably have 1 or 2 preludes, and then the first actual play, and then probably, hopefully, the rest of the preludes before the second actual play. But like I said, once they're all out, I'll order everything correctly in the playlist. And a final thing, I'm also going to do commentary episodes where I discuss DMing this campaign, coming up with it, running it, and all that good stuff. Those will be time shifted a bit just so that they don't spoil the campaign. But probably in a few weeks, those will start coming out. And those commentaries will always reference the actual play episodes they're discussing, both by number and title, so that we can keep everything straight. And this will all be in the playlist for Hinterlands of Elandria. So you can just pay attention to that playlist and keep up on everything. So today I am talking with Brett, who is playing an Aasimar paladin, and we will learn more about his character in the prelude. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. All right, so you were saying about your tank type character, right?
Yeah. Well, I started thinking about because I've never played a tank. I've always been kind of a shadowy person, so for all my characters, or with the exception of the monk. The monk was actually my first stepping out of that kind of idea, cool. Rogue or anything like that. So I my first thought was to create an Aasimar fighter, battle master, as kind of a tank and protector with a protection subclass, I guess.
Cool.
But looking over your papers, I have a different thought now.
Okay.
Because I want to step away from just being a simple fighter also.
Okay.
I kind of want to see if it's possible to ultimately create a character who would be not just good at protection, at like defending the people around him. Maybe not so much heavy on damage or that, but at least being protective. And being and also have diplomacy.
Oh, cool.
That kind of realm. So I'm looking through here trying to find something that kind of balances out both. And I don't know why, but I'd never even thought of the paladin.
Oh yeah,
as an option, and that would give me spells too. Far better, and it still gives me the. Let's see, where was I looking? I was looking in the player's handbook, I think. They were talking about the different feats of, or not feats, but the different features. And they have at some point you get, I think it's even at like second level or third level. Spellcasting, divine smite. Oh, fighting style. That's what it is. At second level, you get fighting style, which was what I was going for with the fighter. Was to get the protection fighting style.
Oh, okay.
So when a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, and you have to be wielding a shield. So that's pretty much the basis for what I wanted to create.
Okay.
And so if the paladin has it too, and that could give me a leg up with the gods.
The defensive fighting style?
No, the paladin. Just the act of being a paladin instead of a straight fighter.
Oh, but you're saying if the paladin has that fighting style?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do.
They do. It's that's how I discovered it. Going through, I started looking at the paladin, and the paladin has. I'm looking at that now. They have the same fighting style: the defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, or protection. And so,
cool.
Yeah, I can do what I want to do with a paladin, and kind of get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, that's
be more godly, or God-fearing, God wielding.
So I realized I was going over the player's guide a little bit today, and I still haven't fleshed out the gods very much. So I don't know if there's enough there for you to pick one or not.
Well, actually, I'm in the middle of scrolling down to that right now.
Okay.
So one of the Aasimar that you have as an option is the Protector Aasimar, which hello, it's in perfect, the name,
right?
Yeah. And it says these Aasimar are descended from angels of Inara, the goddess of life, and so I don't know if you have her fleshed out down here or not.
So I came up with those back when I only had 9 gods. So there's basically an Aasimar for the kind of the core domains. So there's still others I have to choose from, but I've redone my gods since then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I just saw what she's the goddess of.
Yeah, because it at the beginning I had 1 god per domain, and each god had only 1 domain. But I've totally changed that because now I have like 18 gods instead of 9. So now I think what I would probably do now, because so the idea was that like each god has angels, like even the quote evil gods have angels that serve them. So there could be evil angels. And these different types of Aasimar are descended from different types of angel.
Okay.
So the original idea was that each god would have at least 1 type of angel that's specific to them, and then there could be an Aasimar from that type of angel. But that was before I came up with all these other gods. So now I don't have enough Aasimar to cover them all. But I think, like, for instance, like right now they're kind of tied to domain anyway. So what we could probably do is say, if you wanted to be like a protector Azamar, that would work with any god that has the protection domain, which is quite a few of them, I think.
Oh, okay. And those are down here in the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be associated necessarily with the goddess of sex and love and
right.
If I don't want to,
right.
Would be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Let's see what would be a good protection god.
Let's see. And I was also trying to decide on the oath, the sacred oaths.
Oh yeah.
So once I started going down this road, because I've never played a paladin before, I had to read up on it a little bit.
Yeah, and be sure to check out the paladin section, because there's I guess there's only one. There's Oath of the Crown from Sword Coast book that you have as an option too.
Right. I was reading up on that, and that's interesting because it has the two options for channel divinity. You gain the following channel divinity options. Champion challenge. You can challenge somebody or compel a creature to battle with you instead of draw them away from you, which I think is awesome. I would probably die quickly, but it sounds really cool. And then the second one is Turn the Tide. As a bonus action, you can bolster injured creatures with your channel divinity. Each creature of your choice that can hear you within 30 feet of you regains hit points equal to 1d6. That might be the way to go, except it's the Oath of the Crown. I'm not sure. Just by reading through this, would I have to be a lawful good? I know that's your favorite topic, but.
Well, I mean, technically, there's no alignment requirements for any of the paladins, I don't believe.
Okay.
So Oath of the Crown, I think you would probably be in service of like the queen of the city.
Seems to be, yeah.
I think
it's sworn to the ideals of civilization.
Yeah.
So it would be to the royalty of Elandria, I would expect.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely lends itself to lawful good, because, I mean, I want good aligned characters for that. So that's like that half, and then the lawful, like you're serving the crown. That seems pretty lawful, but I mean, I'm not going to say you have to be lawful good. Like if you'd rather be chaotic or neutral good, and you have a way to explain why you're serving the queen or whatever. I mean, that's fine.
I have to remember what neutral good actually means.
I think neutral good is just kind of like kind of you follow a moral code.
And it's not, so yeah, that makes sense, because it's not random. It's your own personal code, and it might not necessarily be in tune with the law of the land. Right.
Because lawful good is all about you're good, but you're also all about the law. So even if a law were unfair or unjust, you would still follow it and enforce it.
You would favor that over,
because you're lawful, and you'd instead seek to change the law, as opposed to, well, I'm not doing that because that's silly. And chaotic good is more about like individual freedom, and it's almost kind of anti-law, because it's like, well, everybody should be free to make their own choices. And I think neutral good is just kind of like you're good, but you don't so much care about law or chaos, or you just do what you think is right. And it's as simple as that. So,
I might be able to better explain away following the crown or taking an oath to the crown if I were neutral rather than chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, I think neutral good would be pretty easy, because you could look at it like, well, I took an oath, you took your paladin oath, so you follow that, Right. So I guess in that way, you're kind of lawful in a way, but you could be neutral good and say, well, I swore an oath to the queen, so I do what the queen says, or whatever. Right.
Okay. So that answers that question.
So looking at gods that have the protection domain, which it wouldn't necessarily be limited to just those gods, but there's Hesta, which is the goddess of hearth, home, family, marriage, childbirth, crafts, healing, protection, which that might not be what you're looking for. There's Volcanus, which some of these names are, I just literally just came up with them, so they may change if I come up with something better. Who is the god of the forge, smithing, metalworking, craftsmanship, fire, volcanoes. Let's see who else. There's Kalis, the god of war, combat, athletics, political power, military intelligence, strategy, leadership, protection. Who's actually a bit different from the Kalis that I came up with for your game that my character worships.
The Keldor is honoring.
That Kalis is much more of kind of a Viking kind of spin.
He seems more like a drinking buddy than more of a drinking buddy, I guess.
Let's see. Does anybody else have protection? I don't think that the god has to have that domain for that to fit your concept.
Would it be better? What would would I be more in tune, I guess is the word? I don't know.
I mean, paladins don't have domains, so unless you plan on multi-classing in the cleric, I don't think it really matters. I'd be more worried about just picking the god that seems to fit your character the best.
Okay.
Because I could see any god having a paladin, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, I mean, as a paladin, you're kind of like, you're one of those few people, paladins and clerics, who are like, I'm going to devote my life to one god. And I just don't see many gods like turning that down, you know?
I just read that or listened to that episode. Yeah.
It's like, wow, this guy's crazy enough to like throw all his chips in with me. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So let's see.
Oops.
Another good one might be Elandria, who is kind of slightly based on Athena. She's a goddess of knowledge, civilization, history, writing, cities. She's also the patron deity of Elandria itself.
Oh, that.
So she doesn't actually have the protection domain, but that might fit really well.
No, but yeah, and knowledge and life. If I go with that, yeah.
Yeah, and some of these domains I may change, or I may like I could see her having protection.
Mm-hmm.
So the domains are kind of in flux anyway. So yeah, that could be a good one.
Going through these, she seems to be the best choice. Although, no, Morgana doesn't make too much sense for him because of travel and diplomacy, yes, but not travel necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Elandria was the one that was called Ion before.
Okay.
But I decided and I've had the idea that she was the patron deity of the city, like since the very beginning. And I had this kind of eureka moment, and I was like, well, the city would probably be named after her. Like Athens is named after Athena, you know, which is actually kind of what Elandria came from, was kind of based on Athens, you
history.
Know. So
I like that. So, okay. So that would actually fit either, because I was looking at Oath of the Crown or back to the player's handbook, the Oath of the Ancients. But the Oath of the Ancients doesn't really have.
That's like the kind of Sylvan one, right?
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't really match what I want to do.
Okay.
With it. Yeah, it's all about ancient knowledge and all of that, which I thought would be really cool, but doesn't really fall in with what I want him to be. So yeah, he may choose the Oath of the Crown.
Yeah, I'm going to look up, if I can find it, I'm going to look up Volo's guide and see what that Aasimar's like, because it's not in the player's guide because it's in Volo's guide. Oh yeah,
it's in. It is in shoot, I looked it up earlier. Hang on.
Where the hell is it?
Are you looking online?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then
because my actual book is downstairs. I could go get it, but I don't want to.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Character races. If it helps, it's page 104.
You know what? I'll just go get my book. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So you get wisdom. You can get a flying speed and do radiant damage. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And otherwise, from what I'm reading about the Aasimar, otherwise I try to appear either hidden or appear human.
Cool. Yeah, I think that would fit that deity, that kind of Aasimar.
Elandria? Okay.
Even if I don't ultimately give her the protection domain.
Mm-hmm.
Because I imagine like some of the angel types are shared.
Oh, sure.
You know, it's like, why reinvent the wheel? Even if you're a god, if there's already an angel out there that's what you want, you just use that instead of creating a new one.
Excuse me. So that makes sense. So that would be what I would want to do.
So a protector Asmar paladin.
Yeah.
Oath of the Crown. That's pretty cool.
Oath of the Crown. Yeah, different than what I first expected, but I like the thought of it. It does seem more, especially going that route instead of the battle master. It does seem more like a protector, less of a slayer, I guess is the best word to say.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if it would be worth it, but there's always a possibility of multi-classing too at some point. Although I don't know why I'm saying that, because I usually try to discourage multi-classing.
Well, I always consider it, and then I wimp out because you always get to the point where, okay, if I level 2 more times, I get this. It's like throwing that carrot out, right?
Yeah, so. Well, that's the real reason I discourage it. Well, partly it's just more complicated.
Yeah. So
if someone's not a very experienced player, I discourage it, but also because I really think, I think always, if not, or often you like when you multi-class, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think a multi-class character is ever going to be as effective as a single class character, because you're never going to get like that level 20 ability. Exactly.
You're never going to make it to full potential.
Yeah. So like a cleric, you know, you get
something you never want to tell your kids, by the way.
Yeah. Like as a cleric, you get, I think at level 20, your divine intervention like always works.
Right.
Which how many times has Keldor tried it and it's never worked? You know, at 20th level, it's like every time I do it, I can do it once a day and it always works. I mean,
and it will always, that's like demigod like.
Yeah. So to give that up just to be able to cast a few wizard spells, I don't think would be worth it.
No.
Or whatever, or have a better hit points or something, or
right. Yeah, it's like short-term gain versus long-term gain.
Yeah. So like if you're going to play a campaign that's just going to go to like 10th level, then yeah, maybe multi-class or
sure, like 4 classes.
Yeah.
I'm level 1 everything.
So also you were concerned about wearing heavy armor.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and all the heavy armors do give you disadvantage on stealth.
Right. Yeah, they all do. Even I think even half plate, isn't it?
Well, half plate is medium armor, but it does give you disadvantage.
Yeah.
As far as medium armor, you've got hide, chain shirt, and breastplate that do not give you disadvantage.
Ouch.
But I think, let me check to be sure, but I'm pretty sure if it's made out of mithril, that goes away. I think that's the thing that mithril does in this edition.
Adamantine just makes it lighter, right?
Adamantine makes you immune to critical hits.
Oh, that's right.
Which is awesome.
Damn it. Why did I do that?
Yeah, so Mithril says if armor normally imposes disadvantage on dex stealth checks or has a strength requirement, the Mithril version doesn't.
Oh.
And that isn't just plain Jane Mithril armor is an uncommon item.
Mm-hmm.
And I was planning on probably starting everybody with an uncommon item anyway.
Okay.
But the only thing is that one item, and again, this is one of these things I can't tell you why, it has to be really tied to like your concept. It has to be like even 10 levels from now when you have 20 magic items, like this item would still be your favorite just because maybe it's your family's ancestral sword or something like that. Like it's something that's really tied to your character.
Right.
Way. So with your concept, I could see your armor being that, like
totally. Yeah.
You know, so that
more so, I'd probably more so than kind of like Keldor, probably more so his armor than any weapon that he uses.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if you're really all about your deity, like you could have symbology of the deity like on the armor and stuff like that. It could almost be like your holy symbol at the same time.
Right, kind of right. Oops, I'm sorry. So what I don't want to get, yeah, I totally do, because I'm like shopping in my head.
Yeah.
So what kind of armor would I be looking at for starting with an uncommon magic item?
Well, I mean, really, it'd kind of be whatever you wanted at that point. I mean, whatever you would picture, like what kind of armor you picture your character in, I guess. So if that's full plate, then
ching.
Because honestly, I mean, even full plate is like 1,500 gold, but I think that's still less than what an uncommon magic item probably costs. Let me look. That's a good question. Maybe do I have to put a limit on it? I don't know.
You may have to. Is there such a thing as a Vorpal shield? Can I have a Vorpal shield?
That'd be cool. So awesome. Uncommon is 100 to 500 gold.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, like if you're like, I really see my dude in plate armor, like this is an item I want you to have throughout the career of your character. So
sure.
So if that's what you ultimately want, then I'd say it'll be plate armor.
Well, I'm thinking half plate is medium armor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's another thing to consider. What kind of dexterity are you going to have?
Yeah, good point.
Because if you have some dexterity, sometimes you're better with
less armor, right?
Right, because you still because heavy armor you don't get a dex bonus. So
yeah, medium. Oh, that's right. Heavy armor you don't get any dex, and then medium you max out at 2.
Yeah, okay. Which also means you don't get a dex penalty. So, like for instance, Keldor wears heavy armor and has an 8 dexterity, but it doesn't hurt his armor class because dexterity just isn't part of the equation when you wear heavy armor.
Right.
It hurts his initiative and dexterity saving throws and anything else that uses dex, but as far as his armor class, it doesn't matter.
True.
So it kind of depends. I mean, you're not an elf, you're an Asmar, so they don't get a dex bonus, right? So
no, it's wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of depends how you're going to build your character as far as attributes. If you see him as being like having actually you wouldn't have an 8, you'd have a 10 dex. Cause I don't know if you looked at the character creation, but I changed it a little bit. So your lowest score is going to be a 10.
Oh, okay.
So if you do stat array, it's different. Or if you do point buy, it's a little different.
Okay. Excuse me.
Let's see. Where is that? And this is one of the many things I'm testing. So
very cool.
So yeah, you have 30 points instead of 27, but your minimum is 10 instead of 8.
Okay. So you have to get up to that. All right. Yeah. So like I was saying before, I had the notion or the thought of being kind of this protector, but also being able to maybe through that have some influence or have some like not inspiration, but not leadership per se, but like persuasion, have a strong persuasion.
Okay.
So trying to talk somebody down off of a fight, or trying to as somebody who would have that. I think I was reading at the very top of your sheet, and that occurred to me. And choosing the different kinds of attributes that each person will, or that each character and one character in the party will have to have.
Yeah.
Diplomacy was one of them. The persuasion, intimidation, and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to. I don't know if I'm spreading myself too thin, but I would like to try to have some degree of fluency in that too.
Well, if you go with Paladin, I think some of their class abilities rely on charisma, don't they?
Yeah, they do, actually.
You want to have a decent charisma anyway.
Right.
Which is what you'd use for like diplomacy stuff.
And there was something I was reading, and I've read so much of it now. I'm not sure what I'm not sure which book I saw. I can't remember if it was the. Oh yeah, it was. It was the Oath of the Crown that you were talking about. Let's see, what did I do with it?
Oh yeah, so you use charisma for your spell casting as a paladin, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
As opposed to
bards use charisma too, don't they?
Yeah, and sorcerers and warlocks, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought warlocks used wisdom.
Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't really know anything about warlocks.
Yeah. I only know the NPC warlocks.
Divine sense. Let's see.
Come on, Mario.
Your spell casting. So your spell save DC is going to be charisma. Your spell attack is going to be charisma.
So that's going to have to be high regardless for a paladin.
Yeah, so you might end up kind of dumping dex anyway, just because, well, you want a high strength probably. You want a high charisma. You probably want a decent constitution.
Yeah, those are probably going to be the big three. Charisma, constitution, and strength.
And just for your concept, you probably don't want wisdom to be your lowest stat.
No.
So yeah, you might end up with the 10 and dex. Well, I guess dex or intelligence probably, depending on how you decide to do it.
Oh, a 10 in dex with flying. I wonder if that's going to be a problem.
Well, at least you don't have the penalty.
That's true. And intelligence is used for knowledge-based checks, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'll try really hard to refrain from building.
Well, no, that's fine. Like,
no, I do want to write stuff down so that I know what to come to the table with.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I won't flesh anything out until.
I mean, the biggest thing really is that people don't pick the same deity. So.
Okay.
Unless someone really wants to play like a knowledge cleric or something, I don't think that'll be an issue. And even if they do, that's not the only god that has knowledge.
Oh, that's true.
I did it in such a way that every domain is represented by at least a few gods, and every god has multiple domains. So that way it's not like, oh, I want to be a war cleric, I have to worship this one god. I still have some choice.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be cool having a paladin.
I'm excited about that. It'll be new for me. Another new.
Well, and this is good for me because as a paladin, you start out, if you want to, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to, you can start out as a member of the mystery cult for your god.
Well, of course I would. Yeah, absolutely.
So I haven't actually come up with those because I'm like, I don't really want to come up with 18 mystery cults. So I'm going to wait until people join one, and then I'll come up with, so like now I know I need one for Elandria, so I can start working on what that'll be. And you probably like at the very beginning won't get anything anyway, but the idea is it's like an organization, and as you gain rank, you'll actually get abilities from that. Like you could get spells and stuff from your mystery cult, like spell-like abilities.
Right. Okay.
And cool. That's one way I'm going to mitigate in case there's not an actual healer. It's like, well, anybody in a mystery cult could get like some healing spells from that they can use like once a day or something like that.
Yeah. And so, Aasimar, I think also have a healing ability. Maybe not. I might be thinking something else.
Well, you have, as a paladin, you have lay on hands.
Correct.
Which is pretty nice.
Which I'm in. Oh yeah, Vol's got his right. Okay. Okay, I'll look that up later.
Lay on hands is like the ultimate healing ability. It's so funny. It's like,
because that's like I choose to give X number of points.
Yeah, so you can just give one point to someone. Yeah.
Just to revive enough to.
You can use it to like cure diseases and stuff too. So it's pretty.
Or to torture somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going off on a. Knock him out, bring him back. Knock him out, bring him back.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I went dark there for a second. Sorry.
So you'll probably do the armor for your item, I'm guessing. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, as a paladin, I would think it would either be your armor or your weapon, your main weapon.
Would I be?
Probably.
I would. Yeah, it would probably be armor. Would I would want to eventually, actually not eventually, sometime soon, if I don't start with one, sometime soon start with a shield also.
Okay.
Even just a basic.
Yeah, so that's what I was just going to ask you. So you're going to do like sword and shield? Is that what you're thinking for like your main?
Actually, I was thing? Yeah. I'm still kind of hemming and hawing. I was thinking either sword and shield or mace and shield.
Yeah, but some kind of weapon and shield is what. But
yeah, one-handed and a shield. Yeah.
Okay.
It's because I want to use that shield feature, the protection feature.
Oh, right.
So that's kind of a must for him.
Because another way you could approach it is you could start out with just whatever medium armor you can get with what you start out with, which I think there's a few of the medium armors that don't have disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, there are a couple.
And a shield, which for a beginning character you'll have a good armor class, and then the mithril heavy armor can be something you get later, and then you can have a magic weapon to start out with. So that's true. You could go that way too. Or your magic item, it doesn't have to be a weapon or armor. It could be something else, but
okay. That's true. But here we go. Yeah, just a breastplate or ironically, chain shirt does not give a disadvantage to stealth. I would think that would be the most noisy.
Yeah.
And that gives me a 13.
And then with a shield, it'd be 15.
15 with a shield. And then if I apply any kind of dex, which I probably won't. So I'm probably looking at a 15.
So if you did heavy armor, you'd probably do plate, right? I'm guessing.
I'd probably do plate. Yeah, I was thinking of splint, 18? But it is 18, so it'd be 20 with a shield, and no dex ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend just thinking about like when you're a high level character, what you want your like coolest magic item to be. Do you want it to be your sword or your armor, and base it on that? Because
or shield
or shield even. Yeah.
So if I had a magical shield,
yeah, that could be a possibility too.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll have to,
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I also have to wait until everyone makes their characters and I know what items I'm giving to know the rarity. Because right now I'm thinking uncommon, but like, for instance, I think magic, well, like the mithril armor is uncommon, but any kind of magic armor with a bonus, I think is rare.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yep.
So if I'm in a situation where like their magic item is rare, then I'll give everybody a rare item so it's equal. So right now I'm thinking uncommon, but it might be better than that. I don't know.
Okay. I hadn't thought about the shield. Okay. He might go that route.
But will you always want to use a shield though?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's something that he would always have on him.
Okay.
I think that would, if nothing else, that might actually be a family heirloom or something.
Yeah. So that could be cool, having like this really sweet shield.
Yeah, and that way I can upgrade armor whenever I need to, and I still have my shield.
Yeah.
It's mine, not nobody else's.
Yeah.
Which could also mean that could be hell if I drop it down a cliff or something. Oh, I can fly. I can retrieve it.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be magical, so maybe,
it's a shield of returning.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, you throw it at people like Captain America. Or
boomerang it. All right. No, I don't know. But okay, I'm excited. I'm growing. The shield idea is growing on me.
So what kind of shield are you picturing? Like a round shield or a...
Well, now I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Definitely not a wall shield, but like I keep picking the one.
Or like more like a traditional, like medieval European kind of shield, or more
I don't know. That's what keeps popping into my head, but I like the idea of something
Something more maneuverable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something I can actually use in combat and not have to, take an action to pull it off my back or anything.
Or you could do was it the Romans or the Greeks that had the shields? They were kind of round, but then they had a notch cut out that they could put their spear through.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are Romans.
Yeah, you could
that's right.
Have something like that and use a spear. Ooh. like freaking Achilles or something. That'd be pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Brett's like, suddenly I'm wearing no armor. I just have a shield, a spear, and lots of olive oil to
a
oil
feathered hat.
Myself.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm girding my loins with olive oil.
Nice. And I call myself Claudius. I don't know why. All right. Yeah. I'm thinking a round shield.
Well, I just saw Wonder Woman last weekend.
Oh, don't tell me.
And I just listened to a bunch of podcasts about ancient Greece and Rome. So I've got that kind of imagery just like stuck in my head right now.
Actually, I like her shield.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool shield.
Wait, does Wonder Woman have a shield? I can't remember.
She does. She did in what's it called? Batman v Superman. She had one. And she has one on the
she has one in the movie.
Yeah, and she has one in the comic book too. My daughter has a little figurine of her with a shield.
Yeah, I was like, does she have a shield, or am I confusing her with Captain America? Because I just saw the Captain America movies like a few weeks ago. Like I've never seen any of them, and we watched them all like in one weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm kicking around ideas for yet another homebrew system. I want to have like gifts of magic, because I have this idea like the magic it's almost like radiation, like it mutates you the more exposure you get to it.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted it to take the form of like cool abilities that you would get over time, but also it would affect like the way you look. Cause I wanted it to be like, maybe your eyes glow or something, where just anyone can look at you and know that you've messed around with magic quite a bit.
Right.
And one of the ideas I had a few ideas for like higher level stuff. One idea was to let you attune to more magic items.
Ooh, okay.
Which I guess was a thing, I think in the playtest. They had a higher, like it was like 4 or 5 items you could attune to, and then they dialed it back to 3.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
people
like
getting to OP or.
Yeah, I think so. So I was thinking like maybe at like, I don't know, like 15th level or 14th level, you can now attune to 4, and then like 17th level, you can attune to 5. And then the other idea I had was allowing you to concentrate on 2 spells instead of just 1.
Oh,
but I'm like, that would be pretty OP too. That'd have to be a pretty high level one.
Yeah, because those concentration skills or spells, those are add 2 of those together. Like, yeah, no,
it still wouldn't be as crazy as 3rd edition with all these buffs that you still only have 2, but yeah, it would be pretty powerful. So yeah, that's still on the back burner because I couldn't figure out things that I like. But that's my explanation for the fact that you can identify magic items with just like a short rest.
Oh yeah.
That's like actually a gift that you've already gotten. And so that's kind of how I explain it mechanically. Like,
yeah.
Well, you've actually already been corrupted by magic, which is why you can just sit with an item for an hour and you suddenly know what it does.
You feel it. Yeah. Recognize it.
Oh, did you see there's some new backgrounds?
Oh, that's where I was going to next.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember what they are, if any of them seem like they would fit. There's the Alchemist's Apprentice, Cartographer, Farmer, and Merchant. You could be a noble.
Ooh.
There's Noble and Elandrian Noble. That could definitely fit a paladin. I mean, a lot of them could.
Entertainer. I want to be an entertainer.
There you go. I can do everything.
City Watch, Cloistered Scholar. Definitely not that. Clan Crafter. Oh, that's cool. Courtier. What is a courtier? Ooh, fill the diplomacy role in the party. Interesting.
Yeah, that's like Oh God, how do you? Like you're one of the people at court, like one of the nobles or
like
whatever. Politicking and whatnot. That one's from the Skag, I think.
I don't think I want that.
Yeah, I don't. I could see you being a noble, but I don't know about a courtier. You know, like you're not that shallow.
Oh, but I can be. That's what role playing's all about, right?
Yeah.
No, what about Knight of the Order?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. Noble's just in the player's handbook, right?
Yeah. And then there's the Water Davian noble in the Skag, which is slightly different.
In the Skag.
Which I renamed the Elandrian noble. But otherwise it's the same. Because I only have so much time to homebrew, you know.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you said Knight of the Order, right?
Oh, yeah, and that's in Skag also.
Yeah.
I wonder what the difference. Oh, no, you have it in here. Yeah. City Watch.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely fit too. Kind of doubling down on the whole.
On the Knight oath thing.
Yeah, so if you do that one, then we can come up with what the order is.
Oh, right. That would be the secret order.
Yeah. It could be like the Queen's Guard or something like that, or it could be something that has nothing to do with the royalty or
cool. Or
maybe it's something to do with the guild. I don't know. Could be a lot of things, I guess.
Knightly order, sympathetic. So what do you... Oh, persuasion. Oh, persuasion, arcana. Or +1 from among nature. Religion. That could be interesting. What was the name of the noble version?
Water Davian noble.
Water Davian noble.
I don't remember how it's different from the regular noble, but it's slightly different.
History and persuasion. A gaming set. Have you ever played in a game where somebody actually used a gaming set?
I don't think so.
Is that too meta to play a game in a game?
I don't know. I think it'd be
cool. Find clothes and a signet ring.
I played in a game of The Strange where our characters played D&D in a hotel room. So that was an RPG within an RPG.
Ow.
Because that game's like current day
That's
Earth.
Cool.
Yeah. So we were like killing time in a hotel room and it's like, hey, let's play some D&D. And I really wanted to like actually play our characters and come up with this, you know, like our D&D adventure. That
yeah,
we did.
Totally.
The GM wasn't down for that.
Oh.
I was like, let's actually do the D&D thing. That would be hilarious. Us playing, our characters playing D&D characters.
That would be cool. That would be so cool. I think Knight of the Order might be the way to go.
Cool.
Yeah. With a musical instrument. I don't know that I could pull that off. Yeah, okay. I like that idea.
That's pretty much. Is that everything?
I think it is. It was the background was the last bit, and then equipment will be whatever we talked about in session 0. Characteristics. Yeah, I think that's it.
I wonder what I'm gonna look. I wonder what kind of armory you get as a paladin, just to start out with.
Oh yeah,
they might. Maybe it's.
I didn't even think of that.
It's probably medium armor.
Probably. I don't know of any class that starts off heavier than that. Oh my gosh, my eyes.
Chainmail. You get chainmail. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something. And it's stealthable.
Yeah, and you get either a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons.
Perfect. Wait, what are martial weapons again?
All the good ones. Like longsword and battle.
Oh yeah, a glaive.
Yeah,
there can only be one glaive. Halberd lance. I'd thought about using a like a morning star or something, but that's just too that. It doesn't seem good for like blocking.
Yeah, that's true. But if you have a shield, then
that's true. That is true. Oh, interesting. So mace is under simple melee. So then maybe a battle axe. That seems unwieldy. Sorry.
The other night I wrote up Addle.
Addle.
Yeah. So it basically, when you use it to throw a spear, you do 2d6 instead of 1d6. Or if you have both hands free, you do 2d8 instead of 1d8. So it basically doubles the damage. Which might be OP, but it seems appropriate to what like the Addle actually does.
True.
And I was just like, I gotta have it.
That'd be fun.
Like, it's further enticement for someone to actually use a spear.
It is.
And I think I don't remember if I did this, but I should also increase the range.
Oh.
Because if you're throwing it twice as hard, it'd go farther, you think.
Sure.
Let's see, what is the range of a spear? Oh, 20-60?
Yeah.
So maybe I could make it like, I don't know, like 30-80 or something.
80 is a good size distance.
Yeah, it looks like all of the thrown weapons are the same. But at that point, it's not, it's a little bit more than a thrown weapon at that point.
True.
Yeah, it looks like all the thrown weapons are 20-60. So yeah, maybe like, well, let's see, what's a sling is 120. Yeah, so sling is 30-120, so maybe that's what it would be. How's that compare to a
and a javelin is 30-120.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would probably work. Just as long as it's not where's the longbow?
Longbow is
600. Okay, I don't have to worry about it overshadowing the longbow. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. You definitely can't chuck your spear 600 feet.
No. 1d10. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I will go with a longsword. It just doesn't feel right for a tank. I think because I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking, well, you can blunt a longsword, hitting metal and that sort. But with a, let's see, that's heavy two-handed.
Are you wanting like a bludgeoning weapon?
Well, I don't know. I think I want something heavier than a longsword.
Oh.
I'm kind of thinking something like maybe a warhammer or a battle axe.
Cool. Or you could always, have your armor be your cool item and use a two-handed weapon.
True.
I kind of like them all myself. I mean.
Yeah.
Or the two-handed sword or a great axe if you like axes.
Great axes are fun.
I just felt the maul was very dwarven,
Yes.
I don't think I would use one with another character, but with that character, I was like, oh yeah. Well, a big two-handed hammer. Hell yeah.
It's like his size. Yeah.
and I like, since he's a cleric, like not using an edged weapon, even though that's not really a thing anymore, but it still kind of makes sense to me, like.
They don't use edge weapons.
In I think it was second edition, clerics couldn't use edged weapons, so they can only use like maces and flails and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Huh. And that was the idea, like you don't draw blood, and it's less lethal. Or
you can kill. Yeah, you can still kill. Just don't draw blood. You'll be fine.
But when you hit someone with a solid steel hammer that's almost as long as you are tall, like you're gonna hurt them pretty bad. I think.
I wouldn't say draw blood so much as scatter or spatter blood, but yeah.
Yeah.